Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Erin, the hardest working gal in women's weight loss, if I do say so myself. And I only mention that because I have been on the phone with women nonstop. This is kind of a busy time of year. I'm recording this, it's early November. I find November and, believe it or not, December are two of my busiest months where women are starting to think about doing something about this. And I don't know, one could probably make some assumptions that it's the passing of yet another calendar year that makes us realize, damn, time really does hustle, doesn't it? And it does. I say this from time to time. You might hear me say this on my social feed or in my emails if you subscribe to my email list. I always talk about how time is going to pass anyway. And I know that doesn't sound great when I say it. Like, I know how that sounds. It sounds scary and frightening and sad. I don't mean for it to sound that way. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm not here to scare people into action. I'm just trying to be real with you. And I do this to myself too. I'm very attentive to how I'm wasting and spending my time. And when I waste time, the amount of regret I feel acutely drives me freaking bananas. I have a note in my phone, Notes app, that's called regrets. And when I regret how I spent my time, I write it down in my notes. I don't go back and read it later. I'm not trying to bathe in my own regrets, but I want to just observe it about the feeling of it, which is, ew, I regret how I spent that day. I mean, that could be, I watched a movie last night, but I scrolled on my phone the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, didn't even watch the movie, just stupid scrolling. Or I just laid on the couch and like bought stupid shit off Amazon. Just spent couple $100 on crap I don't need from Amazon. Went down a rabbit hole. Those two things are related because I went down the rabbit hole recently. Have you gone down this rabbit hole of the drugstore haircare influencer? Okay, so there's some drugstore hair care influencers. I'm going to give you the rabbit hole. But these gals have beautiful hair. They're going to tell you to have beautiful hair with drugstore products that go under the radar, that are made by, oh, did you know Kerastase is made by L'Oreal? And you can buy the Kerastase exact dupe at freaking drugstores. Did you know? I don't know, right? It all sounds very conspiratorial. And then I think to myself, am I being duped by somebody who's getting like Amazon affiliate, payouts because they're trying to get me to buy Garnier fructis bonding treatments off Amazon instead of going to Sephora and getting my K18, which I don't think that shit works. And by the way, I don't care about hair that much. This is the thing. I would shave it off. I'll glue it back on. I just don't care that much about hair. But I do. Here's why I think that rabbit hole got to me. I do think that the salon hair care industry is insane. Like, it wasn't like that even 20 years ago. What's going on? 20 years ago, I was using Pantene and my hair was probably the best it ever was. I was at the gym one time and I don't know why they were showing this. The gym TV was playing some kind of a documentary and they were showing newscasters, news reporters on the scene of something from the 90s and like the manes these women had. In the 90s, we just had so much hair. Now look at us. Oh my gosh, I'm not going down that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole because I'm sure there's some environmental toxicants or stress or COVID or something. People are going to give me their hair loss theories. I'm just not interested. I'm just using this as an example. Now, what am I talking about? Where am I going with this? Actually, this is not the world's worst intro because it is going to tie into what I want to talk about today, which is things that came across my desk this week. I think this is going to be a pertinent podcast episode because I'm just so busy right now that all I have time for is conversations with people. I really haven't had a lot of time to think. I have a lot of interesting ideas. I have some great listener questions that came in that I do want to do a listener Q&A episode. But I think this is going to be a little more interesting. So one of the things that came across my desk this week was drugstore shampoo influencers. Yeah. And I went to the drugstore, guys, and I bought freaking Dove shampoo. And like, I don't know. We're very, very influenceable. I think that's important to remember. And I write that down in my regrets note. Ooh, I was influenced. What a dummy. I want to just clock it when I notice myself being influenced. This isn't to call out influencer marketing people who are influencers. It's a job. It's a really interesting job that's come around. I say this as somebody who worked in marketing for the first half of my career. The fact that we don't need celebrities or, humongous budgets to get Garnier fructis bonding treatments in people's hands is kind of interesting, but these people are also making insane livings. Oh, I just think it's an interesting time to be a marketer and a target customer. It's interesting. So it's relevant to what I want to talk about today. The first thing I actually want to talk about is something that came across my Instagram feed. And I just want to pause to say that it bums me out severely that so much of my life is spent on Instagram, and I just hope yours isn't. And if yours isn't spent on Instagram, I just have to work on Instagram. So I kind of have to see what people are saying, and I have to open that app and, be on it and communicate with people through it. And it's fine. I can think of way worse places to work, believe it or not, than Instagram. So I'm fine. And you already know that when I open my phone, I see different things than when you open your phone. It's all good. That's algorithming. So my hope is that this did not come across your algorithm. However, if you follow anybody in the hardcore health and wellness fitness space, you probably saw it. I'm actually going to play it for you. And this, by the way, before I do this is not to call out this creator, but I want to specifically dissect the message because this thing triggered me right out the gate. And then I had to sit with it for a little while. I always like to explore why I'm triggered. I do. I like to confront my own biases. It really helps me to feel like I've got my feet planted in reality. I'm having a feeling about something I saw on my rectangle of doom and dopamine. Why am I feeling such big feelings about this? It doesn't matter. It's not about me. It doesn't influence me. I have to talk myself off this ledge sometimes. Otherwise, we're just going to be influenced constantly. Otherwise, my shower is going to be full of drugstore products if I don't check myself. And I think this is pertinent for you because I know you're jumping from thing to thing because you see something on Instagram. Ooh, a supplement. Ooh, a peptide. Ooh, a 12-week shred. Get your arms toned by spring. You see this stuff and you think, I'm going to go for this. I mean, why not? And we can convince ourselves the stakes are pretty low. It's just this dumb thing I saw on Instagram. What's the harm? Maybe I can finally succeed at something. Maybe I can become the kind of person who does this and gets results like that. So I think it is pertinent. This message that I'm going to play for you is sort of a rally cry. I don't know who it's intended for. You know what? Let's play it. And then we're going to figure out who this person was intending the message for. My hunch is it might not have been for you and me, but let's see. Please pause. So the creator's name is Trizzleman Fitness, and he's got 1.3 million followers. And it's interesting because I went back to his profile after I tracked this video down, because this video just splashed up on my feed a few times because a few people that I follow shared it. And then I went to his page to track this video down, and there's actually some really good stuff on his page. He's got 1.3 million followers. He's not nothing. He's not doing nothing. And I think he has a pretty reasonable perspective. So I have softened my disdain for this message now that I know more about his bigger picture message. But I do want to zero in on this one because it went mega viral. So this video came across my feed because some people shared it. I follow some people in the fitness space whose messaging I don't agree with because I like to see what everyone in the fitness and wellness industry is saying, even people whose messages I hate. And quite honestly, this was shared from a lot of people whose messages I hate. People who are very just extreme and dogmatic about fitness and obsessive about fitness. Yeah, that's where I saw this mostly come through. Now, when I went to Trizzleman Fitness's Instagram profile, his content's actually quite good. He's got a lot of really great stuff on here. So this one particular video, although very triggering to me, does not represent his total point of view. But I saw this one a few times and it just made me feel feelings. And that's why we're here. Okay, I'm going to play it for you and then I want to dissect it a little bit. Y'all ready? Let's do it.
People with lean physiques don't eat what they feel like eating. They eat what they are required to eat. It will be almost impossible to achieve a lean physique or maintain a lean physique if you continue to view food as entertainment or an emotional escape. The person who constantly sees food as entertainment is always asking themselves, what do I feel like eating tonight? I'm craving this. I deserve a cookie. They have to consistently switch up their meals because they don't like boring eating. But a common trait you'll find with lean people is that a lot of them eat the same thing all the time. Their meals rarely change, and they actually like it that way. Using food mainly for entertainment and an emotional escape makes your fitness goals extremely unpredictable, because now losing weight is solely dependent on if you had a good week or not. So let's say you had a bad week and the kids are sick or work was stressful or you feel anxious. Your nutrition will be the first thing that suffers. So until you learn how to manage your emotions without using food, getting fit's going to feel extremely difficult. Your reward for hard work isn't more junk food. It's the body you get to be proud of 90 days from now. So I would rather be bored with my eating and excited with my results than chasing variety every day and staying stuck. People with lean physiques don't eat what they...
So, first impressions, how did that make you feel? For me, it has some very low moments and some very high moments and some very, yeah, that makes sense moments. So, without further delay, I'm going line by line through this. Not to call this person out because I want, but only because I want to explore my feelings about it and maybe help you explore your feelings and then ultimately have a rational discussion about everything from lean physiques, feeling proud of your body, having an emotional connection to food, and such. People with lean physiques don't eat what they feel like eating. They eat what they are required to eat. People with lean physiques. Right out the gate, people with lean physiques is a category of human that I don't think I fall into. Probably you don't either, maybe. So it's like, oh, you mean people who are very, very focused on their aesthetic, physical fitness, and diet outcome. Very, very focused. Because a person with a lean physique, even the word physique suggests I'm a professional in the gym trying to build a physique. Because I don't use the word physique to describe my body. I have a body, not a physique. Right out the gate, the word physique categorizes this. So from jump, I actually don't think this message is for me or probably you, because I don't think we identify as people with lean physiques. And even if you have a fat loss goal, a lean physique is probably not what you're reaching for. You probably want to look good in your clothes or feel more confident on the beach. You don't need a lean physique for that. Leaner, less body fat on your body, but a lean physique is a very specific thing. Don't eat what they feel like eating. They eat what they are required to eat. We're all required to eat. We all have nutrient needs. And I think it's really useful to understand human nutrient needs. Well, I'm a nutritionist, so obviously I think that's really important. And I mean, you're a nutrition end user, so you should also care. And, you know, we learn all this stuff as we go through life. We understand healthy eating. I think you know on some level what healthy eating is. Maybe. Actually, I shouldn't make that assumption because I know the goalposts have changed. It could be plant-based. It could be animal-based. It could be no sugar. It could be low carb. It could be, I'm not supposed to eat potatoes. I get that all the time from people. Is it okay if I eat potatoes? And I'm like, why? I'm thinking, why wouldn't it be? I'm good with it. Are you? So fair play. It's a little hard to know what to eat, but we all need to eat. We're all required to eat. We all have nutrient requirements. And we also have wants. We have needs and we have wants. I don't want to want shame you. I do think, and we're going to get into this later, there is utility in balancing out your wants to like a dull roar. We can't just have whatever we want whenever we want it, but we can have whatever we want. We can have what we want. There's a balance here. This part of the rant made me feel confusing feelings because, yeah, we do all have food we're required to eat, but we also have wants. And wanting isn't inherently bad. Wanting isn't going to hold you back from being leaner, from losing fat, but there is a balance here that I had hoped we would see referenced, and I think we do. But let's keep going. It will be almost impossible to achieve a lean physique or maintain a lean physique if you continue to view food as entertainment or as an emotional escape. So we're talking about achieving a lean physique or maintaining it. great that he put those both in because you could achieve a lot of things, but if you're not hanging on to it, what the hell's the point? And so again, I go back to, are we talking about bodybuilders here who achieve a lean physique and then they're lean for a period of time and then they go through a bulking phase and then they go through a fat loss phase and a bulking phase and a fat loss phase? And that's not how regular people should be engaging with their body composition. I will say that till I croak. What do you mean a fat loss phase? What? We're just trying to lose fat so we can fit back into our clothes that are hanging in our closet and then just like keep it off. So I don't know. He says achieve a lean physique or maintain a lean physique. So there's two things there. Are we trying to achieve it? Or are we trying to achieve and maintain it? And how lean are we talking? I still don't know. I think probably pretty lean, as evidenced by just the word physique. Very lean people have a physique that they're proud of. I'm very proud of my body, but I wouldn't call it a physique. It's not that good, by the way. It's just all right. It's just okay. I'm being real with you. If you continue to view food as entertainment, pause, because food is entertainment sometimes. Yeah. It's okay to have entertainment from food. It's one of life's pleasures. It's one of many hedonic pleasures that we're presented with. I just want to normalize being entertained by food on occasion. Yeah. It's not really a job all the time. Or as an emotional escape, he continues. Well, that one I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? It would be good to not emotionally reach for food. It would be good if we didn't do that. I don't know how to solve that. I don't think telling you, stop it, is going to work. That's what he's kind of doing. Like, stop it. Stop being an emotional eater. Just stop. Just quit doing that. That's way easier said than done. I have a method that I've created over the years that I think knocks emotional eating down a peg so you can feel like you're a little bit more in the driver's seat on that. But ultimately, we are taught to connect food to emotion from jump. Like you fell and scraped your knee at the park and you're sad. Oh, we'll stop and get ice cream on the way home. You get pulled out of school to go to the doctor. Scariest thing ever. You get a lollipop at the doctor. Doctor knows you're scared. Here's a sucker. Here's a lollipop. Ever since you're a kid, we've tied emotions to eating. And so that's just a conditioned response. And those are hard to break. Conditioned responses are very hard to break. And saying, stop it, isn't going to break it. I do think there's an element of short circuiting that needs to happen for these conditioned responses. And the way I do it is kind of like by replacing, sort of a replacement technique I use where if you're just very well fed, then the little wants go away a little bit. When you've met your needs, the wants can be dampened, but you're still going to want stuff. And you're not an idiot because you want something. You can want what you want. The person who constantly sees food as entertainment is always asking themselves, what do I feel like eating tonight? Okay, so I literally ask myself this every time I eat. What do I feel like eating? It's not because I'm a person who constantly sees food as entertainment. I just want what I want. I want to feel nourished and I want to enjoy every bite of food I'm eating. I want both. I want it all, baby. I don't want to be bored of my food. I don't want chicken breast and white rice or brown rice, whichever rice we're doing these days. I lost track of the rices. I don't want it. I don't want that at all. There's no part of me that wants that. I kind of want what I want. I want to have a chicken thigh with maybe a nice salad that has a lot of cool shit in it. I want a juicy steak and some runny eggs. I want that. I want to enjoy every bite of food I eat, and I do. I get so excited to eat my food. And my food is, probably on paper, kind of boring. I don't think so, though. I'll push back on that all day. Somebody tells me that my eating program is boring. It's like, shut your mouth. It is not. It's some of the most beautiful, enjoyable, luxurious food on planet Earth. Hello, I'm a hedonist proudly. Oh, by the way, that's probably why this message really got to me, because I do identify as the hedonic creature that you, me, and all of us are inherently. I just don't try to quash that part of my nature. I just lend voice to it and try my best to coexist with it. I call this temperate hedonism, where I allow my hedonic pleasures to come through. I just don't overdo it on anything. And I think you can underdo it on hedonic pleasure. A counterpoint, what if you underdid it so much on hedonic pleasure that you just hated eating? How's that going to play out in the long term? You're just chronically bored with your food forever? Sorry, I just think that's a short game. Yeah, you're not going to out willpower your biology, I don't think. I mean, you can try, but God, that sounds miserable. I don't want to spend my whole life in willpower mode. I'm done with willpower. I was anorexic. That is the most willpower you ever experience in your life, is just not ever eating. I'm done with willpower. I've exhausted the well. Instead, I want to just coexist with my wants, peacefully coexisting with my wants. I think this is the path forward. This is the long-term path forward. If you're trying to achieve a lean physique, then yeah, knuckle down, baby, willpower. But I don't think that's us, folks. I don't think that's us. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I literally ask myself, what do I feel like eating today? I ask myself that every day. And then I go to the fridge, and if I have chicken and fish and beef thawed out, what do I feel like eating today? You know what? Fish. And I'm enjoying the thing that I want to eat. I don't have this shit planned in advance. I don't have it cooked in advance, because I also don't want to eat soggy leftovers, because that's also boring. This part of the rant annoyed me because it's normalizing being very bored with food and making food this utilitarian thing. And like, when our hunter-gatherer ancestors came across the honey hive, you know they weren't moderating it. You know they weren't saying, no thanks, I'm trying to have a lean physique. They binged on it. Like, we're bingers by nature. We're not moderators by nature. Now, I don't think you should be out there binging. You know, obviously, I'm not suggesting that. But here we are, ancient humans in a modern food environment with access to whatever we want. We can have whatever we want. More on this later as well. We can have whatever we want. It's at a fingertip away. We can DoorDash a Snickers bar right now. Well, you can. I can't, because DoorDash does not deliver to where I live. Thank goodness. That's a blessing, honestly. So that is a mismatch. But there's a whole gray zone in between being absolutely restrictive and boring and just like kapow, fireworks. Every time I put food in my mouth, it has to be dopaminergic. There is a gray area. I honestly live my life in the gray zone. Can you tell? If you're watching this on YouTube, I got a gray shirt on. I got gray hair coming in. I'm gray. 50 shades of it, baby. But I think that that's where life happens, is in the gray zone. You can be super hardcore sometimes and super off the wagon sometimes. But for the most part, 85% of the time, just live in that gray zone. Now, you're not going to achieve a lean physique in the gray zone. Leaner, you're going to fit back into your clothes and maintain that fat loss in the gray zone. Going on the extremes is going to make fat loss and fat loss maintenance freaking impossible. This sounds like an extreme approach that we're hearing here. It sounds right now, this part of it sounds extreme to me. And I don't like that for you. That's not sustainable. What do I feel like eating tonight? I'm craving this. I deserve a cookie. I'm craving this. I deserve a cookie, he says, as though those things are the same. I'm craving red meat. That's very nutrient dense. Knock yourself out. I don't want red meat. I want chicken. Great. I deserve a cookie. That's petulant. That's a petulant statement. I know you like cookies. Who doesn't like a cookie? But I deserve a cookie, suggesting that that's how you approach it. It's just, I don't like that petulant energy. It's insulting. You can have a cookie. Now, here's how I approach cookies, for example. A cookie is a treat. That's a treat. And if you're watching this on video, not that you have to be, but over here on my desk, I have this little sign, a little piece of art, and it says literally, treat yourself, because I love treating myself, because I'm a hedonist and so are you. At least I'm admitting it. Just bring it to light. I have hedonic urges. Sometimes a cookie sounds like a good idea. So the way I approach treats is, oh, you want a cookie? Go get that cookie, baby. But make it a true treat, which is described or defined as that which is enjoyed occasionally and fully. Treats are by definition occasional. So I don't know why you're bringing the bag of shitty Oreos home. I know Oreos are yummy, but they get stale and you eat too many of them and then you feel bad and now you're in a shame spiral. Just don't bring those home. Just don't count those as groceries. But the cookies are out there. Go to the Crumble. Go to the bakery. Get the warm ginger molasses from Starbucks, which is my favorite. Because I have the worst tasting cookies. I love a ginger molasses cookie. Chocolate chip, take or leave it. Go get a cookie. Make it a treat. Absolutely treat yourself. Enjoy it fully. I just think that's how you explore treats. You're going to treat yourself. It's not happening. So I didn't like the language he used here because I thought it was maybe being a little insulting. I'm deserving cookie, like you're a 3-year-old. You can want a cookie. Make it a treat. Okay, he says they constantly have to switch up their meals because they don't like boring eating. They. You're a they now because you constantly see food as entertainment. I'm a they because I like to be entertained by my food. And I'm a they. I'm not one of these lean physique people. I'm a they. We'll see who has a lean physique. We'll see. I can't wait to run out this experiment because I'm relatively lean. I've maintained a 40-pound weight loss for 15 years without doing anything except for following my own protocol. No one's mad about what my body looks like, but it's not a lean physique. I'm not shredded, but I can't wait to play this out. Let's give this another 25, 30 years. And I want to see all these lean physique people in their 60s and 70s. Are you still obsessing about your food and your physique? Or did you throw in the towel? Because I don't think this is a maintainable approach. It's just so moment in time. A lean physique, like, okay, that's important now. You're in your 30s. This guy's probably in his 30s. Cool. He's in the mating dance years of his life. I don't know anything about this guy. He seems like a great guy. I don't know anything about him. So I want to just really put that out there. I'm not judging him, but with the people who shared this as well are very much in there. I need to be an ornament phase of their life. And there's a phase of our life where we kind of want to be ornamental. And then there's a phase of your life where that shit doesn't matter at all anymore. And it's like, I just want to get back into my clothes and live my life because I'm a fabulous person now. The kids have grown. I've got money in the bank. I want to travel. I want to live my life. Yeah, I don't really care about being an ornament anymore. At least I hope that my pals listening here are moving out of their ornamental phase. It's just way easier to not be continually, perpetually preoccupied by things like a lean physique. So anyways, I'm a they. I'm a non-lean physique haver. I'm a person who likes to eat what I like. So they have to constantly switch up their meals because they don't like boring eating. I don't know. So I think about myself and I want to just kind of put this around in the conversation. I don't like boring eating, but I'm also not eating that excitingly either. I eat probably the same 10 meals, give or take, but I just eat them on my whims. I eat, like today I'm going to have chicken for breakfast. Oh, I'm going to have sausage and eggs tomorrow. Oh, I'm going to have a little HelloFresh beef rice bowl tonight. I always eat the same 10 or 12 meals, but I just have them based on what I want in that moment. So it's kind of like a hybrid. Oh, look at that. It's in the gray area. Because there's a gray area between boring eating and constantly switching it up. There's a gray area. I think that's going to be the theme of this talk is like, why are we talking about these extremes? They don't work. They don't work for long term. But a common trait you'll find with lean people is that a lot of them eat the same thing all the time. Nerds! No. Everything about this statement is like, oh, okay, good luck with that. Or cool. Like this sentence for me was just like lame city. A common trait you'll find with lean people is a lot of them eat the same thing all the time. It's the they versus us versus them paradigm. We're eating boring shit, but we look good. And this is where this particular kind of thinking is why this maybe didn't show up on your algorithm, right? Because for me, I do have people in my algorithm who are bodies for a living. You're a body for a living. Your body is your business card. Personal trainers, fitness influencers, they have brand deals with workout gear line, like workout clothing line. They have to put their workout clothes on, bare their skin, record themselves exercising. They have to have a lean physique so that they look good in the clothes, so that the clothes sell, so they can get the affiliate commissions. These people are bodies for a living. I don't want to be a body. I want to be a human. If I want to be a body, then yeah, I would try to suppress my hedonic urges and my wants for pleasure with food and life. And I would devote all of my mental resources to quashing that element of my nature. And I would become a boring eating, lean physique robot because I would be making my living doing that. That's how I get paid. I have a lean physique and that's my job. Really critical to remember that some of the people that you're seeing whose physiques or bodies you covet, that's their job. And it's probably not your job. You probably have a different kind of job. I always have to remind myself of this. I don't think that I necessarily covet the lean physique. I do sometimes find myself coveting the muscle mommy physique. I don't know why, because I never did. But maybe because as I'm getting older and really turning my attention to fortifying my body, I'm now seeing that muscle's really cool. And so like I'll look at somebody who has like giant glutes and think, I want giant glutes. But I already know that I'm not going to have giant glutes. I just don't work that hard because I can't. I have a desk job. I sit on my glutes for work. The person whose giant glutes I'm coveting on Instagram, her job is her glutes. That's her whole brand. The influenced. That's us. They gotta check ourselves. This guy's not actually talking to us. Their meals rarely change and they actually like it that way. I don't buy that. I think they're pretending. Oh, I think they're trapped. I think they're absolutely trapped in believing that their lean physique is all they've got going for them. It's their job. It's their calling card. It's the most important thing for right now in the ornamental phase of their life. I want to bet money on this. We're all going to get sick of that. I already did. I did that. I'm totally sick of it. I'm never going back to it. Never going back to that again. I had a lean physique. Objectively, I had a lean physique. Did all these things. I'm done. I'm out. Not going back. Traumatized. Greatest regret of my life. Now, somebody who's in the thick of it, when I was in the thick of it, if you said to me, someday, Erin, you're going to really regret, or you're going to really miss being a normal eater, I'd say, no, man, because look at me. I've got a lean physique. It's my whole personality. At the time, I really thought it was that important. And now it's a fucking joke. Sorry. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing that I cared about that so much. Eek. So when people say they like it this way, I mean, I'll tell you what, I think they're pretending to like it. Or the juice feels worth the squeeze because, okay, my food is boring and shitty all the time, but at least I have a lean physique, and that's so important for my job and to be an influencer on the internet. You know, like we can justify things that seem to have that immediate payoff. But I mean, like, you're not going to be a lean physique influencer for the rest of your life. At some point, you're going to age out of that. And then what? People just don't think about the and then what. And I didn't either. I'm in the and then what. I'm living my life in the and then what that happens after you pluck yourself out of giving so many damns about your lean physique. Oh, now I have to figure out how to eat again. And you know what? I do miss having food pleasure. You know what I need to do is figure out a way to temper my need for nourishment and healthy body composition with my want for yummy food. There must be a way to temper these things. Yes, it is. It's called the gray area. That's where I hang out. In my weight loss program, I have a lot of protocols and principles that I teach. And a big one is satiety. Satiety, okay, so satiation. And the definition of satiety loosely would be having nourished to the fullest extent, having nourished fully. So the feeling of satiety or fullness is a signal back from your body that says, thank you for nourishing me. You can put the fork down. And healthy foods have a very high satiety factor versus like processed foods and treat foods, junk foods, cookies don't have any satiety, quite frankly. Steak and shrimp and chicken, all the stuff I talk about, very high satiety factor because it's nutrient dense. So at the beginning of this rant, a guy talked about nutrient needs, what we're required to eat. So to me, satiety speaks to that. Can you eat what your body's asking for? Can you do your body a favor and nourish it? The second concept that I anchor to equally is satisfaction, which is loosely defined as enjoyed to the fullest extent. Did I like eating this food? If you don't have both, you're dead in the water. You got to have both. That's the temperate hedonism. Yes, I nourished myself and I enjoyed every bite of it. That's the pot of gold, baby. Satiety and satisfaction are similar words. They have the same root word, sate. And the word sate is defined as to the fullest extent. Satiate, nourish to the fullest extent. Satisfy, enjoy to the fullest extent. We got to have both. I have to take a quick sip of my unsponsored San Pellegrino. I'm still waiting on that brand deal because I'm constantly guzzling bottles of San Pellegrino on camera all day long. Those little bubbles, the champagne of waters. Okay, let's move on. Using food mainly for entertainment and an emotional escape makes your fitness goals extremely unpredictable. What? Did you just say fitness goals? Wait, physical fitness is strength, power, coordination, mobility, stability, balance, reaction time, speed. What? What do cookies have to do with that? This is where there's a personal beef when we conflate fitness with aesthetics. Fitness is not a look. Fitness is a set of skills that your body can execute. Physical fitness is really critical. I want you to be physically fit in every domain. And nutrition and body composition are not fitness. I said what I said. I'm a 30-year fitness industry veteran. I can draw this line in the sand, and I have decades ago. Like, oh, sorry, this pie chart, 80% nutrition, 20% fitness. This is apparently the fat loss pie chart. Like, what? No, those are separate pies, baby. Fitness pie, nutrition pie. They're different pies. Don't put them in the same pie. I bet you these guys never eat pie. Different pies. Fitness pie has a lot of slices, a lot of components of fitness, and looking great is not one of them. Lean physique isn't really one of them. Now, it depends on who you ask, because for some people, they've conveniently added a slice to the fitness pie. All those things I mentioned, right? All those components of fitness. Some people add body composition as a component of fitness, but I just don't think it is. Physical fitness is your capability, your physical capability, the fitness you have to perform. Food and body composition and fat loss maintenance or whatever lean physique bullshit is not fitness. So that's just a small little semantics issue I have with this. If you eat like an asshole, you're never going to achieve your fitness goals. Oh, I treat myself all the time and I'm pretty damn fit. So bring it on, baby. I don't have a lean physique, but I'm pretty damn fit. Quite honestly, anecdotally, I'm fitter than I was when I had a lean physique because I was so nutritionally depleted back in those days. Despite my lean physique, I couldn't do shit. I was weak. So anyway, this part of the rant goes a little haywire for me. So blah, blah, blah makes your fitness goals extremely unpredictable because now losing weight is solely dependent on if you had a good week or not. Wait, what? What are you talking about? You're talking about fitness? You're talking about weight loss. They're different. They're different. This really bugs me. Why are we putting weight loss in the fitness bubble? Those are different. Now we're talking about weight loss. So now you're in my sandbox. Losing weight now is solely dependent on if you had a good week or not. Yeah, I don't like the energy of this. You're a human being having a lived experience. Yeah, your weight loss journey is dependent on how you feel. Yeah, you had a shit week. You're low on decision-making ability. That's a big factor on your weight loss journey. You're suffering grief because you lost a loved one. That's a factor. You're fucking exhausted because being a modern human sucks the life out of you. It's a factor. We have to factor it in to your fat loss program. Yeah. I don't know who these people are who are not having life experiences that are getting in the way. Life gets in the way. It should. You're not a lean physique walking around being a lean physique. You have a life. You're a human, not a body. He goes, so let's say you have a bad week. Your nutrition will be the first thing that suffers. Oh, now we're talking about nutrition. Wait, this paragraph has gone all over the map. We got fitness goals. We got weight loss. Now we got nutrition. Those are all different things. I don't like when those things get just interchangeably used. They're very different concepts. And I don't like a lean physique person using the word nutrition. I'm feeling a little gatekeepy about the word nutrition. Like, whoa, you're talking about just like having a miserable existence with food so you can have a lean physique. That's not nutrition. That's dieting. That's just being a chronic dieter. Nutrition is nourishing the body to the fullest. And nutrition is in practice, for practical application of nutrition, must factor in the lived experience of the end user. So don't talk about nutrition if you're talking about lean physique. You're just talking about dieting, man. You're just talking about dieting. Just stay in your lane. I don't dislike this guy, by the way. I think he's great. His content is awesome. So until you learn how to manage your emotions without using food, getting fit's going to feel extremely difficult. Getting fit requires you to exercise. Exercise makes you physically fit. God damn it. Anyways, but until you learn how to manage your emotions, you piece of shit. The thing is, emotional eating is not actually working for you. So I do think there is utility in cleaving apart. I feel a thing, I should eat to soothe it, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Now, I literally have this conversation all the time with my clients. They'll say, I felt sad, like this guy. I felt sad, so I started eating cookies. And I'll ask objectively, did that make you less sad? And here's what happens. What do you think people say? I'm just going to give a small pause of awkward silence. When I say to my client, okay, so you felt sad, and so you ate 15 Oreos. Did it make you feel less sad to eat those Oreos? Guess what they say? They usually say, yeah, Erin, it did make me feel less sad. And I call bullshit. I'm like, did it? Because now we're talking about it 3 days later. Now you're sad about the fact that you ate the Oreos. You're bummed. You're mad at yourself. You're feeling 18 different feelings besides sad. You were sad in the moment. You reach for the Oreos because we have that conditioned response. When I feel sad, I go get the cookie because I was trained on that. It did not make you happier. I will call bullshit. This is kind of where I align with this guy. I don't believe that emotionally eating works. I've tried it. I've done it. I've been an emotional eater. And then I objectively looked at it. Maybe I'm just like too objective for my own good, but I looked at it and I was like, this isn't making me feel better. It's making me feel freaking worse. Now I have a stomach ache and I'm guilty and I'm calling myself mean names and I'm still not happy. The thing that made me sad is still present in my life. The cookie does not make you happy. The 18 Oreos does not make you happy. People will sometimes say, well, I just needed that dopamine. You don't feel that. We're not consciously aware of dopamine. I don't know how else I can say this. I know you know the existence of dopamine. I know you've heard of dopamine, so you are aware of its existence. But what I mean is you don't consciously experience dopamine. It's not like, there's that dopamine. You don't feel it. It's not a feeling. It's not like endorphins. It's not like a caffeine high. It's not like an exercise rush. It's not it's a brain chemistry that just trains your brain to remember that reward. It's a brain reward. You don't feel dopamine. You don't feel it. But we convince ourselves that we are emotional eaters. It becomes this label. It's a pejorative almost. Oh, I'm an emotional eater. Almost like it's this, I got this genetic defect, and you don't. It's just a well-practiced habit. Every behavior we don't like is simply a well-practiced habit. And you can practice a different one. So this is something I work on with my clients, and I go back to something I touched on earlier, which is this idea of satiety and satisfaction. If you go through your life being very, very satiated, so very nourished by food, and you've enjoyed that food while you were eating it, it's pretty yummy, you will emotionally eat less because you're not hungry, because a hungry person who's sad will go into the pantry. A well-fed person who's sad might just feel sad. If you combine being hungry with being sad, well, now we got a problem. But if you're not hungry, you're just sad. And sad doesn't make you hungry. Hunger makes you hungry. Worth a try. I have a freebie. I should mention it here. eatsimple.ca/sugar. It's a PDF ebook. It's cute. I did it myself. I do everything myself. It's a free download. There's nothing weird about it. You know, to put your email address and you just go there and download it to your computer. It's fine. A true freebie. Anyway, eatsimple.ca/sugar is my little PDF ebook on how to short circuit this Pavlovian response to treats, right? I feel sad, I get a treat. I feel sad, I get a treat. You're just patterning that. But sadness and eating aren't actually in the same room unless you've put them together through conditioned response. We can cleave that apart. You're not an emotional eater. These self-identities, I'm an emotional eater, I'm a boredom eater, I'm a stress eater, I'm a mindless eater. You're hungry. You're just hungry. Just be well fed with food that you enjoy. And then you won't be in the pantry looking for cookies. You don't have to exhibit any willpower at all. You're free. Okay. Your reward for hard work isn't more junk food. It's the body you get to be proud of 90 days from now. I would like you to feel proud 90 days from now. I would. 90 days. That's a season. I talk about seasons all the time. Give this a season to make a change. Seasons are when change happens, from a Gregorian perspective, calendar wise. So why not give your body a full season to make a change? And changing the way you eat now and really anchoring to a new method of eating that makes you feel great now will pay dividends in a season. You can look back and say, look what I just did. And you know what? My clothes are fitting better and I have more energy. And now that I have more energy, I can go to the gym and work on my fitness, which is a different thing than fat loss. But anyway, I don't mind this part. I would agree with him on this. The reward for your hard work isn't this in the moment hedonic urge. That's why we have to temper our hedonic urges What can you hook into for 90 days? Now, this is where he and I diverge. I don't think you're going to hook into a boring ass bodybuilder diet for 90 days. But could you satiate and satisfy yourself with amazing food that satisfies your nutrient needs, and makes you feel like less hungry and less snacky for 90 days? If you could do that, you would be astonished by what you could accomplish in one season and then the next season and the next season. He says, I would rather be bored with my eating and excited with my results than chasing variety every day and staying stuck. Well, I don't think that's a binary that's true. So I would rather love every bite of food I eat and fit everything in my closet and age like a badass with strong muscles and healthy bones and a relatively lean physique than anything else. I don't care to have a super lean physique. I don't want to be a fitness influencer. I don't want to eat boring ass food. I refuse. Are you kidding me? I'm a queen. I'm not eating boring food. Do you know who I am? I'm only eating delicious food. I'm going to eat delicious food and be in a body that I love. I'm going to do this instead. So that binary does not exist to me. I'd rather be bored and have a great body than excited with a shitty body. No, sir, that's not how that works. So anyway, that came across my desk this week. And as you can see, I felt a lot of feelings about it. And just to reiterate, I'm not mad at this creator. He's got some great content. He has a huge following. He's doing something right. He actually seems like a legit dude, quite honestly. I'm not mad at him. But there's a lot wrong with that statement for the general population, which is a reminder that stuff like that is not meant for the general population. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but we're a general population type people. We're normal people. Yeah, I only really attract normal people who want to eat normally and live their lives normally. So yeah, that's not for us. So if you saw it or you see anything like that, so here's the call to action, okay? I think this is in the realm of critical thinking. I heard this thing, it didn't sit right with me. Let me just explore what parts of it I am having issue with. Okay, I want to talk one more thing that came across my desk last week, and this is a shout out to a client of mine who I'm not going to name, but she'll know who she is if she listens to this. We were at a coaching call last week, and she was awesome because she was feeling a sense of disappointment, and she showed up to the coaching call. Now, let me tell you something. You're going to feel disappointed on your fat loss journey. My last podcast episode was all about the 3 feelings you feel on any fat loss or personal development journey of any kind, quite honestly. Frustration, discouragement, disappointment. And she was feeling a combination of those 3 things because she got on the scale. So prior to getting on the scale, which she just did for fun, I'll talk about that in a second, she had been seeing results. She was feeling more energy, her body's feeling better. She fit back into a cute dress she loved. Her face was looking slimmer. People were commenting that her body looks different. It's working. Like when we talk about fat loss, those are the things we're talking about. Clothes fitting better, people in your life commenting that you look different. By the way, I'm going to pause on that for a second because if you're on a fat loss journey, somebody else is going to notice it before you do. Because you look in the mirror every day and you're like, I don't know, I look the same. Somebody who hasn't seen you in a few days is going to say, what have you been doing? Because your face, jaw, something looks different. You take that feedback and you celebrate the shit out of it, except tells you that it's working. You're losing fat. Your body composition is changing because it's visible. So she doesn't have a scale at her house, but she was at somebody else's house and they had a scale and she thought, maybe I'll just jump on. And I think the reason why she wanted to just for giggles, jump on the scale is because she had been having good results and wanted to corroborate them. Now, the thing is, the scale will never do that. The scale is not going to corroborate your fat loss results because fat barely weighs anything. If you're losing fat the right way, you're preserving lean body mass, so you're going to remain relatively heavy, but your clothes fit better. So we go by the clothes in the closet, not the scale. One thing that really always I struggle to relate to is when my clients say to me, I was just curious. I just wanted to see what that number was. And I think to myself, why, girl? That is bad news 98% of the time. Think about all the times you've gotten on the scale. When have you ever said, yay? It's never good news. Scale goes up, bad news. Scale stays the same, bad news. In this case, the scale had stayed the same, bad news. It hadn't climbed, it just stayed the same. Scale goes down, not enough, bad news. I thought it would be more. Like, it's just a tool of ignorance. And I have not weighed myself in decades. And Yeah, I don't ever need to know that number. It means nothing at all. That number means nothing at all. At all. Tells you nothing. I'm a relatively lean person who's probably real heavy because I've been putting on muscle like a boss because I'm getting old and I don't want to be frail and breakable. So anywho, when people say, I just wanted to get on the scale just to see, I think to myself, why would you do that? Now we have to deal with big feelings, and we're going to deal with feelings. Like, we're not hiding from feelings, but why invite those feelings in with a number that means literally nothing? It's already working. We have proof it's working. So I thanked the client for showing up with her feelings, because the worst thing is you get on the scale, you see, oh my God, that number hasn't changed. Oh my God, this isn't working. And you ghost. That's not what we do. That's not how we do it. No, I forbid it. And I say this to my clients every day. When you're feeling discouraged, when you're feeling disappointed, when you're feeling frustrated, that's when you double down and come to a coaching call so we can work on it, so you don't freaking quit. And then you're self-perpetuating. Oh, nothing works for me. See, another thing, another dead diet to add to the pile. Quit quitting. That was last episode. I'm not going to repeat it. So, to this client's credit, showed up for the coaching call, said, well, I'm feeling all kinds of bad feelings because I stepped on the scale. And I said to her, I'm not surprised, because that's what the bathroom scale does every damn time. So we got talking about the feelings and where they came from and why that number was the wrong number. Because the thing is, when you get on the scale, you're looking for a number that's the right number. And we all have some like imaginary right number in our heads. Like, there's a lady amount of weight I'm supposed to weigh. I don't know. Like, I'm 5'11" tall. And as I already mentioned, working hard to preserve my lean body mass, my bone and my muscle. I am so heavy. Oh my God, I'm so heavy. I got Viking blood, baby. I'm heavy. It's not a lady number on the scale for me, I don't think. Even, here's something for you. This is triggering, by the way. This is very triggering for some people, what I'm about to say. So just like, give me 10 seconds of earmuffs if you're sensitive to stuff like scale weight. When I was hospitalized for my eating disorder, I weighed 142 pounds. Like, that's too heavy for some women. That was me in the hospital. So anyway, what is the right number? Like, apparently for me, it's somewhere, I guess 150 is my number or something for a big, tall woman like me. I don't know. But I don't weigh that much now. So if I got on the scale, I would see a number that's not the right number. And that would 100% fuck with me. It would. I'm not healed from that. That's why I avoid it. Like, I already know that I'm going to see the wrong number. So I'm not even going to look at it, because life is good without knowing that number. I fit into all my clothes. I'm going to pack a suitcase without having to freak out about it. Everything in my closet fits. I'll put the swimsuit in there. It's all good. Like, I don't have any issues. All good. Wrong number on the scale? Probably. So I'm just not going to even look. So we all have some number. And this client has a number. Her number is 160 pounds. And I was fascinated to know where that number came from, because it came from somewhere. So mine, 150, that was extrapolation. Okay, if 142 is in the hospital because I'm starving myself, maybe 150 would be a nice lean physique. Look, we just came full circle. Maybe 150 is my lean physique. So maybe that's where maybe my magic number came from. I don't know. Maybe 150 is like what a tall woman can be and still be thin. I don't know where that number came from. It's a mystery, quite honestly. For this client, 160, last time she weighed 160 pounds, she was able to get off her CPAP machine for sleep apnea. And she really wants to get off her sleep apnea machine. And like, I love that. I would love y'all to get off your sleep machines. And weight loss helps a lot with getting off CPAP. Because, and this is my understanding, I actually recently, where did I hear this? I don't remember where I heard this, so not a great source, but one of the reasons why when we gain fat, we start to have this breathing obstruction when we sleep is because our tongue, the base of our tongue starts to get fat, and it actually kind of sort of sinks down into your throat and blocks your airway. So losing some fat just immediately clears this up. Fat loss is great for sleep apnea. I don't think in every case, though. Like, there's probably some biomechanical anomalies where your anatomy is shaped in a certain way. But for somebody who has sleep apnea, like my client, that seems to be responsive to fat loss, it's a massively useful tool. But she has it in her head that she has to be 160 pounds to cure sleep apnea. And that's not it. It's not the weight on the scale. Like, think about it. When you're lying on your bed asleep, it's not 160 pounds on your throat. Your weight is distributed to your whole body. So 160 pounds across the whole entirety of the bed doesn't really influence what's happening at your throat. It's the composition of fat and like maybe water retention and stuff up around your breathing apparatus that's pressing down. So there's no scale weight, I guess is what I'm getting at, that correlates to, like, sleep apnea doesn't magically cure when we all hit 160 pounds. I weigh more than that, actually, and I don't have sleep apnea, for example. So she really was anchored to this belief that 160 pounds equals sleep apnea remission. But it's not the 160 pounds. It was the change in body composition, so, which we're achieving. We're achieving a change in her body composition because she fits back in the dress and her face looks thinner and all this stuff looks thinner. Like, when all this stuff in her face starting to get thinner, less fat, we're moving some of the stuff out of the way of the breathing apparatus. We're on our way to resolving sleep apnea. But you might still be heavier on the scale. The scale might never move, and we can resolve sleep apnea. So I just think that's interesting. I think it's interesting because the reason I think this is interesting is not because of sleep apnea, but because of the magic number we all have that we think we're supposed to weigh. And we have that number programmed into us for reasons we can't even maybe remember, or maybe it's something very specific and obvious, like she remembers being off her CPAP machine at 160. So that's the magic number I have to get to. She got on the scale. She's not at that number. It's not even moving in that number. It hasn't moved, but she has lost fat. We're working toward getting off the CPAP machine, but the number is not right. So she's convinced, it's not working. I'm never getting off the CPAP machine until this number on the scale goes down. And those things couldn't be more unrelated. The number on the scale tells you nothing at all. In fact, I would love it if you remained heavy on the scale, but fit back into all your clothes and got off your CPAP machine. Like, that would be the dream. The number on the scale stays the same and we achieve all the health and body composition benefits from fat loss, and it feels easy to maintain for the rest of your life. That's the dream. So what's helpful is to never get on the scale again. Shout out to my client, Allison, who threw hers in the dumpster and then took a picture of it and posted it in the group chat. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You don't need to know that number. Listen, don't push back on this with me. You're going to say, what about for medication? You need to know how much you weigh for medications. Like, you don't need to know that. Your prescribing doctor needs to know that. The pharmacist needs to know that. You don't need to know the number. Just take your medicine. It's been dosed for you at your body weight. Oh, the anesthesiologist needs to know how much I weigh for the surgery. I'm like, that's not your job, okay? They'll figure out how much anesthesia to push. You're fine. Oh, I need the bathroom scale because I have to weigh my suitcase. I will send you a $12 luggage scale from Amazon so you can throw your bathroom scale away. You don't need to know how much you weigh. Nobody needs to know how much I weigh. It doesn't tell you anything. And all it does is make you feel like it's not working. And then you quit. Or it makes you feel bad about yourself because it's not the right number. And the right number is some material invention. The right number is an invention from some dark corner of your mind. Somewhere in your diet programming, a number was implanted into your brain. And now you can't shake it. Neither can I. So let's ignore that metric, which means nothing at all. Focus on what matters. When you're on a fat loss journey, you're trying to lose fat, not weight. And fat shows up in how your clothes fit and how your body looks and feels. And with this client, it's working. Her clothes are fitting. Her body looks different. The CPAP machine is like the next thing. We're on our way. We're on our way to getting off that CPAP machine, but not if she quits. And seeing that number on the scale, that's the kind of thing that runs the risk of folks quitting. Now, she didn't. Shout out to her. She showed up for the coaching call. We talked it out. She said, okay, I'm here. I'm committed. I know it's working. I just needed to have this moment. I'm so grateful for that. She didn't quit. She's not quitting. We're going to do this. We're getting off the CPAP machine. But it probably won't be at 160 pounds. That's an invention. That 160 pounds has nothing to do with the CPAP machine. But she thinks it does. So we do almost in the realm of a conditioned response, we need to cleave that apart. Those two things are actually not related at all, but we think they are. So thanks for hanging with me. These are the things that I see coming across my desk as a women's weight loss nutritionist who's deeply embroiled in the conversation around fat loss, body composition changes, worthiness, and whatnot. And whenever these topics come up, I feel and think about them constantly. I'm constantly thinking about this stuff. when I'm on my walks, when I'm at the gym, when I have a spare quiet moment, I'm constantly thinking about the programming and the language that we use about fat loss. I think about the tactics too, and that's what I work on with my clients. But in my spare quiet moments, I think about the feelings and the beliefs and the programming we have. This stuff just like haunts me. So I wanted to haunt you with the thoughts rolling around in my brain. And I'll catch you next time.